This is Dani. She works in our salon and she came in today so she could just give a little bit of feedback on what it's like to work with me with healing work and just coaching. So, you said the container of comfort was one of your favorite things that we worked on. So, can you just tell everyone what the container of comfort is?
Yeah, so container of comfort is just kind of like the story that either you or your family members or whoever was around in your life growing up kind of set silent like restraints on your life of what you believe you're allowed to have or what you think you can achieve in life. One of my favorite examples of this is two siblings that I know. Obviously, grew up same parents, same household, same lifestyle, very poor. And one of them now won't even eat the foods that he ate as a kid because it reminds him of being poor and he doesn't like to be in that mindset.
That makes sense because sometimes like your senses cause triggers. Like if you smell something or just experience a place that you've been to before that
Yes.
reminds you of that, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so certain things like spaghetti or pancakes or things like that, he just refuses to eat. And then the other sibling fell on hard times and was gifted an extra vehicle to make some money. And instead of selling the vehicle, paying some bills, she wanted to then, if she lost her apartment, she would have a vehicle for her animals to live in and one for her to live in. So she very much stays in the mindset that she grew up in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I've heard before if you say you're poor, that's like a true mindset, where if you say you're broke, it's like a fleeting moment. So that she's really showing a broke mindset, right? Like she brings herself back to this is who I am by doing that. So that's a great example of how the container of comfort can hurt you, but it can also help you. So it did help you, right?
Yes. So for me, after a couple years of coaching, she works this kind of coaching in with the salon coaching that we do as well. Cause, got to figure out what's going on inside before you can do anything else. And I, through that process, was in a relationship that wasn't awful by any means. We didn't fight, we didn't yell, he didn't cheat, nothing like that, but it wasn't self-serving. And I spent 3 years single, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, just kind of dating the same guy over and over again, essentially. And it wasn't until I looked in the mirror and was just like, no, I'm accepting this. And I finally was the one to walk away and essentially tell the universe, like, I'm over that, on to the next. And then a couple months later, a brand new client walked in and she introduced me to my now fiance.
Nah, I love that story. And I did watch all of that and you've evolved so much.
Yeah.
I just love your whole story. And you changed what you allowed to be comfortable in because essentially the container of comfort is where you feel comfortable. And if your subconscious thinks that it feels better to feel broke than it does to feel wealthy, and if it feels better to feel like man than it does to feel lit up by a relationship, then you'll constantly pull yourself back down to that space, right? So yeah, you totally use that exercise and
many ways,
yeah,
many avenues of my life, because it's not just relationships or money, it's happiness too. And I think that's the category that I'm working on now, is just choosing to be positive and choosing to be happy and not living in the Eeyore lifestyle.
I love that. And yeah, that's totally true. Like I get told all the time that I have a lot of energy or how am I always happy? And I'm like, well, I didn't just like wake up one day and every day was happy. I had to say, this is my life now. This is who I am now. And I had to choose that every single day until it was just a habit to be.
Yep. And you might want to roll your eyes at that kind of thing, but because I did in the beginning, I'm like, yeah, you just wake up happy, sure. But no, when I wake up now, I'm like, it's not straight to the negative, not I'm so tired, not, oh, I wish I could have slept longer. It's, what are we doing today? What are we taking on? What are we conquering?
And I love that you said that because your words literally create your day. They create who you are. So they create a story, right? So your words create your emotions. So if I say over and over and over again, I'm tired, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, which how many people say that?
All day.
All day long you hear it. Everyone that I talk to is like, oh, I'm fine, I'm just tired. But they are tired because they keep telling themselves they're tired. And as soon as you tell yourself a new story, it changes your emotions. When you say, I feel really excited and lit up by the day, like your body language changes, the way you say it changes. And if you're just like, I'm just tired.
And you could be faking it in the beginning. You
Absolutely.
could have to put on a mask and fake it and not feel like you truly mean it. But the more you say it, the more you talk yourself into it.
You do.
As long as,
You do.
you're
And you
doing it.
change your emotions. And once you change your emotions, your subconscious changes your story and then you change your reality. And that's
We've
everything
seen
that I
it.
teach in a nutshell.
Mhm. It's magical.
It is magical. Well, thanks for coming and chatting with everyone and
Of course.
sharing your experience.
I'm sure I'll see you guys soon.
Yay! So if you need help in any of these areas or you need to change your container of comfort, if you just message me love, I will get back to you.